So, for those who don't know me, my name's Karen. I'm an account manager here at TVision, and I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of digital transformation. Now, we've referred to digital transformation a lot so far, and we've explained it in terms of some functionality, some businesses, but what do the words actually mean to you? Not sure? Well, if I say the words AI or machine learning, what images do they conjure up? This perhaps? Robots taking over the world? A little dramatic, maybe? Well, what about something a little bit more realistic? So how many of you are actually thinking more on the positive lines of accessibility? I mean, really, we should be considering how digital transformation can benefit our jobs and our industries. Digital transformation should be about people, working in conjunction with technology in an ethical way where it's actually needed the most. So today I'm going to talk about what digital transformation is, why is it relevant to your business, and how can we embrace it positively and ethically. So to recap on what Pippa said at the beginning, according to Microsoft, digital transformation is about reimagining how you're going to bring people, data, and processes together to create the value for your customers and maintain a competitive advantage. I recently went to the Microsoft Future Decoded event, and not surprisingly, digital transformation was the key theme of the day. So in order to kind of summarize what digital transformation is, I've used the key learnings from that event for 4 different areas. First of all, it's been called the 4th Industrial Revolution. You need to talk about the intelligent cloud and the intelligent edge. It's all about big data and machine learning, and artificial intelligence, or AI, as I'll refer to it throughout this presentation. So, an industrial revolution can be described as a point in time where there's a huge spike of innovation which advances industries and impacts the way people work and also society in general. Wikipedia describe it as the fusion of technologies that's blurring the line between the digital, the physical, and biological spheres, collectively referred to as cyber-physical systems. So the 4th Industrial Revolution really is about digital transformation, robotics, AI, and machine learning. So if you've attended any Microsoft event recently, or if you've gone on to their websites, you'll see the words intelligent cloud and intelligent edge used a lot. So intelligent cloud are cloud applications built with artificial intelligence or enhanced functionality in mind. And the intelligent edge is a continually expanding set of connected systems and devices that gather and analyze data. So together they give you the ability to create a new class of distributed, connected applications and ultimately breakthrough business outcomes. So, big data and machine learning. To start with big data, this refers to a large set of data which is analysed by a set of technologies to reveal patterns or trends. It can be described as data estates in the cloud. Machine learning, well, that focuses on the development of computer programs that can access the data and use it to learn for themselves. Machine learning can be applied to categorising previously learned data or labelling of new data. And machine learning relies very heavily on big data and a continuous data feed, hence why the intelligent edge and the intelligent cloud are so important. So how big is big data? Well, a computer uses megabytes, your servers will use gigabytes, but when we're talking about big data, we're talking in the realm of exabytes. So it's not just the size of the data as well, it's also important that we can trust where the data's come from, where it's stored, and what it's going to be used for. So, artificial intelligence. Well, simply put, it's a machine that can act using human-style reasoning or perception. And it can be divided into the 5 key areas we can see on the screen, which are vision, speed, speech, language, knowledge, and search. So in terms of technology, this is a way that computers can actually understand the various human emotions given by reactions to text, for example, pictures, voice intonation, language, and also the information that a person is providing. Artificial intelligence also needs big data, so it can draw upon a huge bank of information, previous answers, and the latest research in order to provide the answer or progress a conversation in the most optimal way. So one of the best examples of AI are web bots or virtual assistants. Sorry. So, why is it relevant to your business then? Well, to answer that, you need to say, can you see it replacing jobs in your businesses at the moment? According to Microsoft at the Future Decoded event, 30% of UK jobs are going to be at risk, such as product assembly or data collection. However, jobs that are low risk are those which require a higher level of human interaction, such as managing people, education or sales. AI still currently finds it difficult to hold conflicting arguments and apply persuasion in terms of language and intonation. So it's not necessarily about question about can we use artificial intelligence, machine learning with big data? It's should we. What we're doing is we're disrupting the status quo of how things have always been done. And we know that if businesses don't evolve, they will eventually fall behind. Indeed, at the Microsoft Future Decoded event, it was stated that UK organisations that have an AI strategy are 5% better performing than those who don't. So if this is the case, why does 50% of UK businesses not actually have an AI strategy at the moment? And you might think, well, businesses are just trying to protect their people. But in the same study, 59% of the workforce say that they would actually embrace and be open to an AI strategy. So digital transformation is inevitable, but it really does come down to how and where we should augment the workforce with it. How can AI allow people to spend less time on those manual tasks and more time on the value-added tasks? Well, that's all well and good, I hear you say. But what about my industry? Where I work, how is that going to help me day to day? Well, for all industries, digital transformation can help you improve your speed to market and customer satisfaction, providing the relevant information where and when it's actually needed in the most relevant way, but more importantly, the most ethical way. On screen here, you can see an example of a conversation with somebody with a chatbot on the phone, and the conversation getting to a point when human interaction is actually needed. So could you see how that could apply to your business? Many order queries or other inquiries could be solved very quickly, drawing down on a huge bank of information, providing a better service for your customers. Other examples are Cortana, which is currently available within Business Central in order to gather help with, say, forecasting, for example. You could apply it to credit control, so you could start to predict how customers will pay to improve the creditor and debtor management, which would be very useful for cash flow. Solutions could be taught which accounts to allocate incoming payments to, and they will learn as they go as well. Morgan Stanley has recently created an AI-supported next best action tool that allows businesses to send customized messages to hundreds of clients. As American Banker reported, the tool ascertains the client's asset allocation, tax situation, preferences and values in mere seconds. And advisors can then evaluate and determine what information can be recommended that they'll actually share with their client. It could be used in recruitment for CV parsing. So you could use AI to get down to a very small shortlist of candidates, allowing that to be then passed on to the recruitment consultant. So now we talked about what it is and how it could benefit your business. How can we embrace it positively and ethically? Well, the best way of doing this is to describe some industries that have already embraced it and the benefits that they're seeing. So in healthcare, online diagnosis using virtual assistants or chatbots to draw down on a wealth of data to understand what a condition could be and what next best action to take. Is it to go to a hospital? Is it to go to the doctors? Is it just go to the pharmacy? And another simple application could be to forecast the number of patients that are coming into a clinic, given last year's numbers, given the weather prediction, given any kind of epidemics or things that are actually taking place at the moment. To the very complex, to assisting surgeons with procedures, how to perform an operation, giving them some different options that they could run through before they actually get to the operation. So a big topic at the Future Decoded was Microsoft's dedication to accessibility. Microsoft want to enhance the power of AI to amplify human capability for anybody that has a disability. This in turn will hopefully mean that anyone with a disability can add just as much value to businesses as able-bodied people can. And it will allow them to get into work much more easily. So here's a few examples. First of all, you can see on screen Microsoft's Seeing AI app. This helps blind and partially sighted people by narrating the world around them, and it has actually been released in the UK. The free program uses AI to recognise objects, people and text via a phone or a tablet's camera and describes them to the user. And they have a hearing AI app as well. Now, this aims to connect people to the world of sound. So the interface allows people to visualise the intensity of the environmental sounds in order to gauge what the ambience of the room or the area that they're in. It could also be used in many areas of manufacturing. So Seadrill is an oil and gas company that's really replaced many manual tasks with technology in order to leave the more challenging jobs to the people. They're using it in very different ways, from its simplest form, using the picture on the screen. This is from their VR app. So this is to give people an idea of what it's like to work and live on an oil rig. And it's obviously helped in many areas of training. It can be used in machine optimization to recognise faulty machinery or predict when more parts are going to be needed. And obviously that can have a huge impact on decreasing the downtime of machinery. It can also, using cameras, have an idea of where people are on the rig, how near to dangerous machinery they are, and to shut down that machinery if needed, if it can predict that an accident may take place. And they're also using it to actually at the site where machine maintenance needs to happen. So using a VR headset again, they'll be able to call people up on Skype to have conversations about this particular piece of machinery. They'll be able also to overlay any images or blueprints that are needed without having to go to the relevant place on the site. So really, we don't want to be left behind. But at the same time, we need to apply ethics, company policies, and an understanding of how to use digital solutions to add value. As mentioned previously, UK companies that have an AI strategy do perform 5% better than those that don't. But you do need to keep your digital journey constantly updated with your key stakeholders in mind. And look to where everybody can add value. So making sure that you're embracing technology for accessibility. It could be to allow your staff to add to the conversations about Power App, as Bryony also mentioned. You know, they're the ones that do the jobs and know how it can be improved, and they can have really good key input for those areas. And also it could be, how can your digital strategy be opened up to benefit the wider community as well? Now, digital transformation is not stopping there, it's continuously evolving. So Microsoft have an undersea data centre in Scotland. They were really looking at, well, you know, as more data is present and it's getting bigger and bigger, how are we going to store it? You know, how are we going to have the space for it? So they actually store it under the sea. And ethically, it has benefits too, because they have cameras which are attached to those data centres. So they're looking at marine life to do studies for them and help with ecology. Data can now be looked into being stored on synthetic DNA. So looking for smaller areas, you can actually be able to store data on something which is the size of the lead of a pencil. And quantum computing, so moving away from binary, allowing to have lots of different ways of being able to achieve more. So rather than having, yes or no answers to programs and having to follow that kind of method, you can look at all options or all predictability in one go. And that's going to get us to much further places a lot quicker. So these three areas mean that more data will be able to be held in many different places, but a much smaller space. So to conclude, I'd like you to think about your digital strategy. Do you have one? Is it continuously evolving? Are you including everybody in this strategy? And remember, it's not what AI can do, it's what it should do. If you'd like to learn more, please check out Microsoft's book called The Future Computed: Artificial Intelligence and Its Role in Society. Or you can download their booklet called Maximising the AI Opportunity. Thank you.